Hi, welcome to Cultural Connections. I'm Nancy Coumoundouros, the Cultural Arts Supervisor for the City of Farmington Hills, and we have some very amazing things here for you to see today. We're going to prove to you that all that glitters is not gold. I have on a beautiful piece, you'll notice too. And I have a special guest here today, Sharon Wagner. She is the president of the Great Lakes Beadworkers Guild. Welcome, Sharon.
Thank you.
I brought a few little things with you today to show us. They're just absolutely amazing. You're going to see some things that you just won't believe. We've had the Great Lakes Beadworkers Guild exhibit in our gallery at the Caustic Center, the City Gallery, several times now. And we currently have an exhibit there too that's just blowing everybody away who comes into the Caustic Center, because they don't think that beadworking is quite this amazing, this awesome, until they see it. And you guys are just amazingly accomplished artists.
Thank you.
So
we have some very talented bead artists, and we consider this to be wearable art. That's the goal.
It certainly is. And you know, you just had an anniversary too, your 20th year anniversary of the Guild, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yep. We were established in '92, and so that was our 20th anniversary.
That's great. And you have members from where, Sharon?
All over the Metro Detroit area, and we have members from Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, California, Washington State, Oregon, Wisconsin, all throughout the Great Lakes area, but primarily the Detroit metro area is where our members come from. But they do come from as far as even Lansing and Grand Rapids, Flint, Toledo.
Wow.
So yeah, they come from all over.
So you have a huge membership. How many do you have?
We are 260 plus right now.
That's quite a few.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, I can see the attraction. So what is involved in being a member? What do they?
To be a member, you simply fill out an application and send in your dues, and it's that simple. You can find the information on our website at greatlakesbeadworkersguild.org, and there's contact information on our website.
Now you offer quite a bit to your members. I know you have classes and you have events and so on. Can you give us a few details about that?
Sure. We meet monthly on the third Tuesday of every month except for December, and we meet in Birmingham at a location there on 15 Mile. That information is also available on our website. And we feature at our monthly meetings, sometimes we'll have a national teacher in who will speak, or have a trunk show, or we'll have some other kind of bead-related program for the evening for our members to come, or we might even have just a social event where we can share our current projects or things that we finished recently and just enjoy each other's company, or sometimes we even bead together on an evening. It just depends. But we do bring in, on average, 10 national teachers each year. We bring in 4 national teachers every February for what's called Bead Days. So we have 4 national teachers in for 4 days of classes. So our members have to choose from 16 different classes. That is not always easy.
Sure.
So, and oftentimes when we bring in 4 teachers, we will bring in 2 bead weaving teachers, and because we're a multidisciplinary guild, bead focused, but we also encompass other disciplines like wire working and polymer clay. So oftentimes we'll bring in 2 bead weavers and 2 metal or wire working teachers for bead days. So we give a variety of classes. Then throughout the year, we'll also bring in a variety of teachers. Wire teachers, polymer clay, we do felting as well, and then always add beads to everything. So, and our guild is one of the premier guilds in the country as far as being able to bring in national teachers. There's not many guilds that do quite as much as we do.
Well, I know you told me before that the teachers sometimes actually request to come in and teach for you, which is the best case
they do. They
scenario.
seek us out, and once one of the national teachers has taught at our guild, and they talk to their professional friends, then they find out just how nice it is to come. Our beaders are very skilled. We vet our students for classes so that when the teacher comes, their job is really very easy, because we have advanced beaders. The teacher comes in, they have the project, which we're excited about, but we know all the techniques that go into it. So that's not to say that we don't have beginning beaders. We love beginning beaders because we love to help them along and show them the way. And we also encourage our members, and especially new beaders, to support our local bead stores throughout the metro area. And we have a lot of bead stores, which is unusual as well, particularly here in Michigan. With everything that's been happening, our bead stores are still thriving and doing well, and we are really proud of our guild in that we support them as well. So the new beaders are encouraged to go to their local bead stores and learn basic beading classes, pick up the trade magazines, learn from those, and then come and get more tips and information from us and our members. Seek out a new friend in your area and learn more that way. And so our beaders learn very quickly all these great techniques, because there's so many different ways to put beads together.
Well, I'm not surprised actually that the bead stores are still doing well, because when you have a creative outlet like this, it just reduces your stress. You know, you can get so involved in it, and you just don't think about what's going on, you know, around you. And I think it's a very therapeutic thing, I'm sure, as well.
It's definitely an escape.
Escape. Yes, it's a whole other fantasy world right now. I'm
very much so.
We're in a part of the fantasy world.
We go into our own little glamorous, blinged up world, and it's a lot of fun. The other thing that our guild does is, it's our major fundraiser that supports our organization, is twice a year we have our own retail bead trade show. And we do that twice a year, and that's at the Southfield Pavilion in March and in October of each year. And we just had that, and it was absolutely wonderful. So lots of people came out. The vendors were happy. Our volunteers got to work, and
oh, what a fun day
yeah,
for
it was,
you guys,
it was a really great day.
Having all those beads in one spot to choose
Oh,
from.
it's so hard. Everybody goes home broke. We have to go home with doubled our bead stash at home, and our pockets are empty, and our, you know, I can't say all husbands, because we do have some men in our group that bead as well. So,
That's great.
but
Wow.
yeah.
Well, before we get into what we have here with us today, let's talk a little bit about the exhibit that's at the gallery now. We do have the Beadworkers Guild come in on a regular basis, usually once a year. But this year's exhibit is quite a departure from the ones we've had in the past, in that you had a different theme. Do you want to elaborate on that a bit?
Synergy is a collaborative competition that we have developed between the Great Lakes Beadworkers Guild and the Southeastern Michigan Glass Beadmakers Guild, also known as the Glass Act. The Glass Act is a group of about 35 or 40 glass bead makers. They work and make glass beads in a torch, in a flame, right in front of their faces. Anyway, so what happens with Synergy is we take one person from the Glass Act and one person from our guild, the Great Lakes Beadworkers Guild, and we make a team, and then based on the theme, they collaborate together and build a piece from that theme. This year's theme for Synergy was, Detroit, so bead it. So whatever inspired them about the city of Detroit or evoked strong memories, essentially whatever about Detroit they wanted to bead their project about. It was wide open to interpretation. And as you know, the variety of pieces was very broad.
Oh, it was phenomenal.
The difference from one to the next was incredible.
I liked talking to one of your artists who said, this is so different for me, because I usually do the flowers and the pretty things and so on, and she had done a gorgeous necklace with all sorts of pieces of iron and things that symbolize Detroit, bottle caps, amazing things, Verners, you know, all of that in this one piece, and it was really stunning. And then some of the other things we should emphasize too that beads aren't just jewelry. She had a whole seatbelt. An entire seatbelt covered completely with beads and scenes going along the way up Detroit.
And again, different themes of things from Detroit.
Three-dimensional. It was amazing. There was a phoenix necklace. One of my favorites was done by a gentleman. It had a background that was a cityscape.
Yes, it was a Detroit skyline.
The skyline, and then the bead in front was the fist.
Yes,
the
glass artist made a Joe Louis fist. Yes.
And what was so unique, like you mentioned, were some of the beads were made specifically for those pieces.
Correct.
So it's one of a kind.
Right, and if you go back and look at that piece again, the fringe at the bottom of the necklace is actually reflecting that skyline.
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
One of the other artists pointed that out, and I went, "Wow, how did I miss that?" So, but yes, that
Yeah.
piece is beaded by a man, designed and
great.
beaded by a man, and the glass is made by a lady that was
Mhm.
his partner from the other guild. So,
And you had a piece that even lit up.
yes,
Which I
my
thought
piece
was
had
very cool.
LED lights in it.
That was very
So-
cool.
Which is why it was called Lumières de la Nuit, which is night lights.
Night lights
So,
of Detroit.
right, so like the red tile lights and city
Uh-huh.
lights and that whole idea.
Had a juror from the DIA,
Yes,
and she was
that's Becky Hart.
Becky
She's the
Hart.
associate curator of the DIA, and she
Fantastic.
specializes in modern art installations there.
Mhm.
So yes, and that was the goal of my co-chair and I. My co-chair from the Glass Act, her name is Cindy Brunel. When we set out to do the competition this time, this is our second synergy, we said we wanted to elevate it to a higher level. The first one was kind of getting our feet wet and figuring out what this competition is going to look like. So the second time around, we said, let's kick it up a notch. And how can we do that? Well, let's get a very well-known person, well-established in the art community from our area, and that turned out to be Becky Hart, and she was absolutely fabulous. She does have a fiber background, and she's done other jurying in the area for other guilds, but never worked with us before, and that was quite a pleasure, and she enjoyed it tremendously too. So,
Well, I happened to be there when she was doing it, and
Yes.
she had said that I thought with the number of pieces it would take me 15 to 20 minutes. That's my usual thing. And she took her well over an
over an
hour.
hour.
She just couldn't believe the things that she was seeing. She
Yes.
said, I've never seen anything like this, and she wanted to know every little detail about how things were made and to see the front, the back, and so on, because she just could not get over the quality
Right,
of the
and
work.
trying everything on to see how things lay on the
Yes.
body, and
Uh-huh.
because she had to find some way to determine, figure out who couldn't make the cut and
Uh-huh.
you know who was going to play. So it was really exciting, and there were some unexpected decisions from her,
Yeah.
and that was really cool.
Yeah,
It was very exciting.
it was great.
So, and then at our event, we had a People's Choice Award. So our attendees and our members from both guilds got to select another winner from that collection themselves. And that piece was the Phoenix, the Detroit Phoenix, the one we were talking about a minute ago. And on that particular piece, all of that bird is constructed. Those are individual beads. That is not one solid piece. So those are all individually connected together with the beadwork from our artists from the Great Lakes Beadworkers Guild. So,
Wow.
so that was quite. I was like, ooh, that's quite an undertaking.
Well, your
So-
beadworking is so impressive, and
Thanks.
you know, it's not, as I said before, it's not just jewelry. I've seen wall hangings, I've seen
Mhm.
three-dimensional things,
Yes,
usable and non-usable.
right.
But anyone who comes shouldn't expect to see just necklaces. They're so amazing.
No, decorative art,
Yep.
decor pieces, whimsical pieces
Really
like
something.
the Belle Isle Voyageurs is a doll, a beaded doll on a turtle. So
That's one thing I have to say that I really love about your guild too, is you guys all have a sense of humor about what you do.
you have to.
You have to. Because it's so hard work. But you know, what did you put on the mugs? Let's tell our audience what you had on the mugs this
and
year.
I thought about
for the
bringing
gala.
one, but I didn't. We have a competition for our Bead Bonanza t-shirts, and we put a theme on the t-shirts each time. And this year we had a really cool one. It's tied into our anniversary, so it worked really well. But on the back of our anniversary mug, it says 20 years of enabling beaders.
Which, you know, is
By
true.
bringing in national teachers and giving them opportunities to learn and find out new things. And there's lots of other networking things that we do. But yes, we definitely, and having our bead show twice a year. Oof, bringing in, and those vendors for Bead Bonanza, they come from not just around here, but they come from all over the country.
Oh, really?
Yes, yeah.
Wow.
And we get a lot of people trying to get into our show, and we're very selective with that as well. So.
Well, what an opportunity for people to shop for beads. I mean,
Yes, it
that's
is.
really something.
Yes, yes. We see a lot of people that don't necessarily become part of our guild, but they keep coming to our show and buying beads from our vendors. So that's cool too.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, let's talk about some of these
Sure.
pieces I have on. This incredible thing. I didn't know I was going to be wearing this color today, but it
Hey.
actually goes pretty well. And surprisingly, it's not heavy.
No,
I would have thought that this would weigh a ton, but it doesn't really for the number of beads,
right.
thousands
and
of beads on
that piece is called La Belladonna, and that's by Carmen Falb. and she's the artist that took first place with her glass bead maker in our wearable jewelry category for Synergy this year. And her piece is there. It's Driving Detroit in the gallery.
Yes.
So.
Well, this is just absolutely amazing. And I'm sure anywhere that you wear one of your pieces, no matter if it's the grocery store or a gala, you probably get comments on them.
Well, that's the other funny thing about beaders, and when we wear our jewelry.